What's up, friends? This is Manni and welcome to a performance review for the P8-AR assault rifle that was part of the CitizenCon digital goodies pack of last year. From what I gathered, that was the only way to obtain the gun on the RSI store page, but according to the wiki, loot tables in contested zones have been updated to also contain the weapon now. Nonetheless, I want to have a look at it with you guys and tell you whether or not you have missed out on a super overpowered weapon, or if this is something that you can neglect. So first off, we have this with a silencer here, or a suppressor, and you see this weapon has quite a kick. At short range, you'll be able to handle it, but at long range, you're not gonna hit much with that much of a kick. However, if you apply the tweaker scion compensator too, which you can find in various contested zones in Pyro, then this thing basically loses all recoil. You have a minimal recoil that is easily controllable even at long range, and with that, we're going to test the weapon right now. I'm going to use this as a baseline for upcoming tests as well, because weapon performance reviews is something I want to do more often now, since I'm rerunning these ASD missions constantly, so I have a consistent benchmark to test these weapons against each other, okay, and to see how effective are they all together. I also sometimes zoom in for you guys here onto the crosshair so that you can have a better visual understanding of what's going on in the map. You see the weapon does kill things without helmet, obviously. In one shot, as soon as the enemy has a helmet, things get more difficult. One headshot will no longer kill. It is not a P6. The P6 is going to be a mad powerful sniper that will dispatch most enemies even with one headshot. Even with heavy armor. But not this one, okay? It's more an assault rifle and its combat distance is from low to medium, I would say. This is basically already a little exceeding its range that you should be fighting. However, you know that you can do it pretty well with that compensator. And since we're gonna see multiple different weapon performance reviews here on the channel, you'll be able to compare the performance of the P8-AR versus other weapons I'm going to show you. I've already shown you one recently where I showed you the Fresnel LMG as a sniper version with a 16x scope or a 3x scope, and then using it as an option for longer range engagements, even in the same situations that you have seen the P8-AR work in here in this video. So you can already make a little bit of a comparison for yourselves. I think the weapon here performs, and this is just my opinion, but judging by all the weapons I've already tested, much gameplay already recorded coming for you, the S71, the P4, the P6, SMG is something I'm still having on my list, but also the A03 sniper. Is it A03? So yeah, a lot of tests are coming up, and this weapon here performs, I would say, mediocre. I wouldn't specify this as a really powerful weapon because A, the clip size of 15 shots is just too small. You're not really going to be able to have enough impact compared to many other weapons. The fire rate is also really slow. This is as fast as you can fire. Dum 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 dum. Okay. Damage output wise, not impressive. Okay. While you need like 3 to 4 body hits. Depending on the range, it can be even 2, but usually it's like 3 or 4. The weapon recoil, even with the best compensator, will still make you miss a bunch of shots. And with silencer or suppressor, as you've seen before, it kicks a lot. So basically not really handleable for anything for longer range engagements. Damage per minute, or DPS, even if we break it down, is relatively low as well. Okay, so in all aspects, the weapon performs mediocre. But I think that its biggest drawback is how did this guy... Okay, he confused me. The biggest drawback, in my opinion, is the 15 rounds magazine. That is just not enough bullets per magazine to really push enough kills per magazine. Okay, that is always an important metric. For example, if you're looking at the Fresnel LMG with its 165 bullets or shots that it has, it can effectively kill 15 guys, no problem, in one magazine, maybe even 20 or more, depending on how you land your shots. The P8-AR will not get anywhere near that, okay? Even if you land perfect headshots for some weird reason, you're not going to get this many kills per magazine, okay? Yeah, you're typically need to plan in a bunch of shots per kill, especially in PvP. That is the biggest metric for me, is DPS. How to kill very quickly. The time to kill, or TTK, is always one of the most important things when you're looking at the performance of a weapon. And the time to kill of an FS9, for instance, is very fast, despite having a large magazine and a consistent firepower, okay? Same goes for many other weapons, like a regular P4. Extremely fast time to kill, because there's a lot of bullets coming out of that with a decent damage per hit. My favorite of all weapons, typically for all low to medium engagements, or more like low focus, is the Lumen as an SMG. It has 45 bullets in its magazine, and it hits with very high damage per projectile, despite being an SMG. Fire rate wise is a little lower than other SMGs, but it comes out with an incredible amount of kills per magazine. And the DPS is still impressive. So the P8-AR is nowhere near that time to kill. And although some enemies go down pretty quickly here with a double tap, it's nothing that another weapon wouldn't do as well. And they would be able to do this more flexible with larger magazine sizes, where you don't have to land every shot perfectly to get a decent amount of kills per magazine, okay? This is just my opinion. Of course, I would like to hear yours, in case you're also using the weapons. I'm not saying it's a bad weapon. I'm just saying it's not standing out as extremely good or powerful in any way. It is just okay. It is just performing decently, and how you would expect a regular AR to perform, even though this is a special weapon. It seems to me that CIG has made sure this weapon does not get a reputation of being overpowered or broken, because it was only available, from what I understand, in this one CitizenCon package. Even though, according to the wiki, some loot tables in contested zones have been updated to also somehow contain the P8-AR. I personally have never seen it, but it's supposed to be there. The Fresnel LMG, for instance, that you get in mass numbers in the ASD facilities that anybody can just obtain in-game, no problem. This one, however, is extremely powerful with its damage per second, and especially rising with its damage output as it overheats. Then the amount of kills per magazine, okay? The fact that it has a very, very limited and easily to control recoil, even at long range. With no rifle barrel attachment, you can handle it easily at long range. But then again, I'm not asking for a nerf. I'm just using it as a comparison here against the P8-AR. And of course the LMG, the first real LMG that we have in the game, should be incredibly powerful, since this thing makes you so immensely slow when you're carrying it, right? So it's a massive drawback. To carry that weapon means being extraordinarily slow. So in return, you get an extremely powerful, very capable weapons platform. And I like that. I think it's actually okay this way. And to conclude my question from the beginning, no, I don't think you missed out on anything regarding the P8-AR. The weapon is fairly balanced. It is not overperforming in any aspects. On the contrary, I would say it could actually have a little more magazine size, or maybe a slightly higher fire rate or something, but it's nothing that you definitely need. It just has a bit of a more exclusive character due to the fact that you don't see everyone having it, okay? Aside from that, hopefully you had a fun time with this review. If you did like it, please like it, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for the next videos. Manni signing off. Bye-bye, my friends.